Hi, I'm Kaylee Russell, and I'm currently interviewing for the bilingual position at your school for the 5th grade classroom. Based on the question that you asked about setting up learning management systems, I believe that it's important to use technology to assist my already established pedagogical teaching. And so because of that, I also know that we need to set goals and then reflect on our goals, even if it is just about technology. So currently I'm using Canvas as a learning management system for my classroom. And before I started using Canvas, I made the goal of being able to allow my students to access the content online faster, and also for them to see the agenda that we're working on for the day and to access that later if they've forgotten what we talked about in class. So I've been using Canvas now for about a semester, and I have continually reflected on this goal, and I found that it has been effective in reaching this because I used to spend 15 minutes at the beginning of class setting up everything and making sure they got to the right place online, and now they get to the spot that we're talking about in about 5 minutes. So I've greatly reduced the amount of time that it's taken for them to get access to the things online, and they now are spending more time on the pedagogical practices instead of the time taken to get access to things on the technology. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. So, I believe as a teacher it is important to have a growth mindset. And since I believe this, I know that I need to be involved in professional learning networks in order to grow and fulfill what I believe is important. So because of that, I've created multiple professional learning networks. Some of these include Twitter, podcasts, YouTube, teachers that I just know who are in the field. And I recently even have connected with this person on Twitter through #bilingualedchat. And this person is a reading interventionist, and he uses certain materials within the classroom. And I asked him where he got these materials, how he uses them, things along that nature. And he told me that he uses them within the classroom, he uses them K through 12, but that's primarily they're used for students who are in the K through 5 setting. And he said, hey, why don't I get you connected with this person who can talk to you more about the resources? And so now I'm currently connected with this person who is talking about the resources, and I'm doing some research to decide whether I want to purchase this for my own classroom so that I can use it to help my students who not only speak English but also speak Spanish, and help them in their reading interventions both in English and in Spanish. That's another really awesome question. So as I've already stated, I believe that as a teacher, it is important to have a growth mindset. And so because I believe that it's important to have a growth mindset, I believe that you also need to be keeping up on research. I also know that by keeping up on research, that you're gonna be using the newest pedagogical practices that have been proven to work. And so that if I'm using these newest research-based practices, then my students will have a more likely probability of learning and retaining the knowledge that I have taught them. So recently, in order to keep up on some of the newest pedagogical practices, I've been reading articles on Twitter. And for example, one of the articles that I read recently was an article about best ways to teach reading to students.